Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Jules, here for WhatCulture.com, joined by my favourite son,
Pastel
Ewan,
Boy,
who is going under the new pseudonym of Pastel Boy. It's Pastel Boy and Cancer Man. Not a great start. Anyway, but we're not doing any news today. Instead, we're talking about DC and Marvel and basically any sort of large comic book publisher and how they literally cannot stop spoiling their own storylines. It's become a recent thing. Well, actually, I say it's a recent thing. It's actually been on for years, where the final page or the leaked teasers that they'll do in the weeks leading up to their storybook event will contain massive spoilers. And to be fair, if you work on this project for months at a time, I understand how giddy you must be to finally get eyes on it. But Jesus, leave some of the surprises for us.
Yeah, so if you've been keeping up with Tom King's Batman, which you should be because it's amazing and it's making for what is set to be the biggest change the character has seen in decades, you'll know that he's having a wedding with Catwoman.
He might actually be happy.
He might actually be happy. I'm not going to spoil, I've not seen these new spoilers that have emerged, but we do know this week that there was, it revealed in an exclusive paper, the contents of Batman number 50, which releases this Wednesday, which is going to conclude all the stuff. It's going to set a new status quo for Batman as we regard him. And it's getting very frustrating because if you recall last year as well, Batman's proposal, Selena Kyle's answer to Batman's proposal was also spoiled in an issue of USA Today about 2 days before it released. That same year saw Marvel spoil the ending to Secret Empire, the big return from Marvel Legacy as well. And if you go even further back, they've been doing this for years. So the death of Johnny Storm leaked in a newspaper. The death of Peter Parker in Ultimate Spider-Man revealed in a newspaper.
But this is the problem. It's usually the news and media outlets that aren't actually what I would consider to be directly related to the comic book source. That's the real problem. If it was to say like Comic Hut or panelpals.com or something else, then you'd think to yourself, oh, this is a reputable source of comics. I understand that spoilers from them, while being a bit cheap for some things, they're at least coming from the right source. This, it seems to be, which is like, say you're the fans at home, it's like, no, you're not allowed to know about this. Oh, USA Today, hey, you've got a tiny interest in this, but I need to give you something, otherwise you won't even publish a story. Here's all of the secrets.
It's really frustrating because if you're keeping up, it's very difficult to avoid. You might have spoiler warnings in the headline, but you log into Twitter or whatever, there's a chance that if you're connected to a bunch of comic book media outlets or comic book kind of personalities, these spoilers can are basically just going to find their way into your everyday field of vision. And to Marvel and DC's credit, I can see the logic in this. They have gone on record and said that when they do a stunt like this, they do see a spike in interest in the comics, and to me, that's one of the most things I'm most passionate about with comics. I want to see new readers pick up these stories and get involved. But what they're doing here, to me personally, is tantamount to HBO having the finale to the latest season of Game of Thrones, and then giving the entire thing to one outlet who then put the spoiler in the headline and the title, and everything gets out of control, and everyone knows what's happening before the things even aired. So there's a side to why they do it, but
marketing-wise, Marketing 101, it is a great way to build hype. It is a fantastic way to get people aware of your comic book lines and bring them in. Like you said, that makes perfect sense, but the problem is that there needs to be a point where you stop thinking about the dollar and start thinking about the people behind those figures, because at the end of the day, is this going to push comic book fans away? If they think to themselves, well, I know what's going on with this, I'm tired of having that all spoiled for me, like imagine every single line that you read being ruined for you, that there's no drama, no twist. You may even find that comic reviews start to go down, because if people know the surprises, then one of the massive hooks of that line is lost, and it means that people go in there thinking, well, I already know what's going to happen, so therefore I'm going to judge the comic harshly on the things that I don't know. And you know what I mean? It has less gravitas.
It's really frustrating because when these big status quo altering events do occur in the medium, it's constant. It always happens. You always get this story because though comics aren't necessarily on the forefront of pop culture these days, superheroes are, and comic book films are. And one of the things that DC and Marvel in particular have struggled to reconcile since we've seen the explosion in comic book movie films is how do we translate butts and seats to people in stores? And part of that comes with like a kind of changing geek culture and making it more welcoming and stuff. But there is also something to be said about treating the source material with respect. And I understand that when you have a story that says Spider-Man dies, people are going to want to go, I want to read that. I want to read that. I want a piece of history, and I want to see what actually happens in the comic itself. But at the same time, no one will want to invest in a medium where the main kind of people who are investing in it, the fact that they could potentially be spoiled isn't seen as important. And obviously there are own countermeasures you can put in place to try to avoid these things, but at the same time I think it sends out the wrong message.
There are right and wrong ways to bring people into comic books, and you shouldn't just be part of the flash flood, which is just I just want to do this for this one moment, because then that's not really keeping people invested. They're just going, right, well, I know what the big twist is, I've bought that comic book line, I've got no reason to read beyond this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
one of the good ways of actually getting people into it is what DC are doing with their online streaming service, which we covered in a different video. The fact that it comes with a back library of rotating lines, so at least then you have the option to read it regardless.
You raise a really interesting point there as well, because this is the finale to an arc that's been going on since October.
Yeah, that's a long time.
And why not, instead of spoiling the finale to that, why not wait a week and then just make a massive move to publicize what's happening in the issue afterwards? Because everyone will know people who are reading the comic will know what it is by then. And if the revelation is meant to be as big as it is, surely that would generate enough interest in itself. Like Marvel Legacy as well. Wait until Legacy has revealed it has actually come out, and then have the thing of being, Wolverine's return, and have loads and loads of articles on, oh my God, why has Wolverine returned? This thing happened just that last week. It's not that difficult.
No. It's really strange. Like I can kind of see where DC and Marvel are coming from in the sense of like dollars and just can't contain their own excitement, but sometimes the hype is best left until it's the right time to deliver it.
Until we're all in the comic book shop, which I will be on Wednesday. Don't spoil this for me.
God, you got really serious then. But anyway, that's been the sort of like chat that we're having today. Let us know what you thought about it down in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree with the practices that are going on in the comic book industry at the moment? And as always, I've been Jules.
I've been Ewan.
You've been awesome, and we'll speak to you soon. Bye!